Mag Chan said, what is the best time you find to cold call, and how many calls do you have to make to close on one deal on average? I think the best time to call is probably from 5 to 8 p.m. When people are home from work. You might catch people that are eating dinner, but usually they're home from work, and that's just when I've gotten the best response rate. Besides that, the best time would probably be around lunch. 12, 1 o'clock, you could catch people on their lunch break, and then maybe even same thing around 1 or 2, and then it'll slow down from 3 to 4. People are driving home from work. But I mean, the worst time to call is to not call at all. It doesn't matter so much about the time, it's just doing it. And then how many calls does it take to close a deal? It depends on your skill level, on your experience. So it's going to be different for me versus you, Mag, just based off experience level. But I can show you the numbers on the first deal I ever did to kind of compare it to maybe where you're at now. Okay, so basically, starting from when I first got the Mojo triple line dialer, which was, I believe, like September of 2019, September or October of 2019, until April 24th, 2020, which is when I closed my first deal. So that's about 7 months. I made about 18,805 calls. I made contact with 936 sellers. So I had to talk to almost 1,000 people. Spent hours and hours on the phone, close to 50, 60, 100, 60 hours, yeah. So I spent 60 hours just on the phone talking to people. So it might take you more or less. It might take you 1,000 or 2,000 calls. Depends on your skill level, what market you're in. I mean, you might just get lucky. For me, I didn't really get lucky for a long time. And, there was more calls that were made besides this. This is just on Mojo. I had 5 or 6 months when I wasn't using Mojo of calls that I was making. Obviously, I wasn't making as many. I wasn't doing nearly as much as I should. But Mag, the best thing is to just get your numbers up, make as many calls as you can, and don't stress on how many is it going to take you to get your first deal. I can guarantee you it's going to take probably 10,000 calls, at least, somewhere around there, to get a deal. I would just look at it like, hey, I need to talk to 100 people to get, 2 or 3 leads. So that's 100 contacts you're making with the right person in order just to get 2 or 3 leads. So you do that 1,000 times, you have, 15, 20 leads, you should have a deal right there. So I hope that answered your question.
Louis Bands made another one.